Okay, I'd like to present my presentation, Integrated Pest Management Strategies for Sustainable Tea Cultivation. I myself, Dr. Mohammad Shameem Al Mamun, Principal Scientific Officer, Entomology Division, Department of Pest Management, Bangladesh Tea Research Institute. So at first, I would like to say that tea is a popular health beverage in the world produced from the sugarcane shrub Camellia sinensis. Tea is a major cash crop as well as an export commodity of fairly divergent ecological zones, namely Surma Valley in Greater Sylhet, Halda Valley in Chittagong zone, and Korotwa Valley in Panchagor districts. Now there are 167 tea estates and more than 8,000 small tea gardens, having about 65,000 hectares of tea plantation, producing 96.5 million kg of finished tea per annum, with an average yield of 1,500 kg per hectare in Bangladesh, contributing 0.11% of GDP. Here we can see that picture of tea world, and green indication means the tea producing countries of the world. Now there are 51 countries producing tea, and then below picture is our pictorial scenario of Bangladesh tea. Now we discussed about pest of tea. Tea plant is subjected to the attack of several insects, mites, and nematodes. 1,034 species of arthropods and insects and mites, and 82 species of nematodes are associated with tea plants. Among them, 25 species of insects, 4 species of mites, and 10 species of nematodes are recorded from Bangladesh. About 10 to 15% of its crop could be lost by various pests, particularly insects, mites, and nematodes. Here you can see a tea plant and occurring different pests of tea in different places. And there are 4 major pests of tea: tea mosquito bug, tea spider mite, thrips, and looper caterpillar. First one is tea mosquito bug. This is Halopeltis thaivora. It is the most important and serious pest of tea in Bangladesh and India. Both new and adults cause damage by sucking the cell sap from succulent stems, buds, and young leaves by inserting their proboscis. There is rare spider mite. It is Oligonicus coffee. Is the one of the major and serious pest of tea in Bangladesh, and we can see the hundreds of spider mites are found on upper and under surface of every tea leaf, together with thousands of eggs. Red spider mites are responsible for depredation of yield and debilitation of tea plants, causing considerable crop loss. Another is thrips. This is Thrips dorsalis is one of the major pests of tea, causing appreciable loss in nursery young tea and tea recovering after pruning. Thrips prefer unopened or partly open young leaves and buds. Both adult and nymphs cause laceration of the tissue, which appears as large number of streaks. And another one is looper caterpillar. Distance suppressoria is one of the major defoliating pests of tea in Bangladesh. It is the larval stage of moths. Young caterpillar feeds on tender leaves and making puncture along the margin. With the increase in larval age, feeding rates also increases, and their loopers consume the entire leaves, leaving only the mid-rays. And why we introduce this type of integrated pest management strategies? And we know that to combat this pest, different group of pesticides like organochlorine, organophosphorus, pyrethroids, carbamates, and some unclassified group have been used in tea fields since 1960. And chemical pesticides have been used for a long time, but have serious drawbacks, such as direct toxicity to beneficial insects, fishes, and human beings, pesticide-induced resistance, health hazard, and increased environmental and social cost. And finally, undesirable pesticide residue in made tea. Therefore, managing this pest population within economic threshold level is important, for which application of pesticides become imperative in an integrated pest management system. As an alternative to these techniques, IPM has been encouraged, and unfortunately very little research work have been done on the cultural biological control, resistant agrotypes, biopesticide, or any other IPM approaches against this major pest of tea. So attempts were made to evaluate different components of integrated pest management strategy for major insect pests such as tea mosquito bug, red spider mite, thrips, looper caterpillar that is infesting tea in Bangladesh. We can see the pictorial. First one is chemical control that we discourage in tea garden. and we promote IPM component. That is another picture we're showing. And I'd like to say that what is IPM? According to Food and Agriculture Organization, IPM is a pest management system that, in the context of associated environment and population dynamics of the pest species, utilizes all suitable techniques and methods in as compatible as manner as possible, maintains pest population at levels below those causing economic injury. And here we have selected some component of IPM package such as cultural control, mechanical control, and host plant resistance, biological control, use of botanicals, and finally judicious use of chemical control. So we have a series of experiments were carried out to develop integrated pest management strategy for the major 4 pests of tea in Bangladesh during 2017 to 2021 at Bangladesh Tea Research Institute, substation, and main farm also. The experiments were designed with completely randomized design in laboratory condition as well as randomized complete bulk design at field level, and each treatment was replicated thrice. And data were collected at 24, 48, and 72 hours after treatment and laboratory condition, and 7 days after interval at field levels in respective methods. And I'd like to brief procedure and obtain result of the experiments are here. First one is cultural control, and under cultural control, pruning. We like to implement one of the options is pruning. Pruning is the most important cultural operation in tea husbandry, and pruning has significant effect of the incidence of foliar pests like Halopeltis, red spider mite, thrips, and looper. And the result revealed that the incidence of all the pest population was found in the lowest in light pruning, that is LP. And highest population of the pest is found in light skiff, that is LSK. So light pruning significantly reduced the infestation of pest of tea and other than skiff treatments. Here we can see the pruning field, and maximum pest or foliar pest were removed by this operation. Another is plucking. Plucking is one of the common phenomena in tea culture. This process has a significant impact of the removal and reduction of many foliar pests, such as tea mosquito bug, thrips, aphid, and leaf folding caterpillar, such as flashworms, leaf rollers, and tea tortoise. And finally, wheat-free cultivation, weeding. This is another cultural control. Wheat-free cultivation reduces the infestation of pest of tea in tea plantation, and periodically cleaned up weeds suffer less attack of red spider mite than unclean or weeded areas. So the growth of host plant in and around tea fields should be controlled, and this will help the reducing the growth of pest infesting tea. Under these 3 techniques, we can maintain under cultural control. Another is mechanical control. Under mechanical control measures, a solar power light trap. We can use this solar power light trap to catch the foliar pests, especially the moths and of looper caterpillar, and yellow sticky trap for the thrips, jacet, and white flies, that is a flying insect. These 2 techniques is very important in tea plantation. And finally, we get the result. The solar power light trap captured greater number of moths, that is 62.44 per trap of looper caterpillar at 7 days interval. And these were gradually increased with the increase of time up to 21 days interval. On the other hand, yellow sticky traps captured greater number of thrips. That is also important pest of tea. And one trap we catch it 48.46 per trap. Then blue sticky trap at 7 days interval. So these are the significant gradually increased with the increase of time at up to 21 days interval. However, the traps also captured a large number of non-target insects. This is the challenges of these mechanical techniques. Under host plant resistance, susceptibility to BTR, right? Bangladesh Tea Research Institute released tea clones BT1 to 21. We have determined that some clones are very much susceptible to the attack of pest, and some clones are found comparatively resistant to this pest. And finally, we found BT1, BT2, and BT15 are found less attacked by Halopeltis. And BT5, BT6, and BT70s were found by less attack by red spider mite. So these clones could be planted in the tea fields where this pest is are very much prone. And we also identified some clones against thrips. And BT4, BT6, BT7, BT8, BT9 clones were found less attacked by termites. So these resistant clones should be planted in the pest-prone area. Another is botanicals, and so we have conducted an experiments against some botanicals against the major pest of tea. We have been used akondo, bashok, bishkatali, bhat, baruid, castor bean, datura, garlic, mahogany, neem, tobacco, nishinda, and we have found that these have strong insecticidal properties and can be used as alternative to chemical pesticide. And we have found that barweed that is Gentium stromerium, were found very much effective against this pest. Another, this is biological control. Biocontrol agents such as Chrysoparla cornea and praying mantis also, Oligota flavices and some spiders, ladybird beetle, Stethorus beetle are identified as predator against the major pest of tea. And here is the one is egg parasitoid is Erythromelas halopeltidis, and another is Bracon habitors as larval parasitoid against lupar caterpillar are found very effective. And we found that Bracon habitor as larval parasitoid at the rate of 5 adult 30 against 30 larvae of lupar caterpillar was found very effective. And so these biocontrol agents should be used in the tea plantation for the safe production of tea and effectively control of pest. And final another component of IPM is entomopathogen. This is microbial control. We can use Beauveria avicenna, Verticillium licani, Metarhizium inuspai, and Hirsuteta thomsoni, Pseudomonas fluorescens, Bacillus thuringiensis. These are found very much toxic on Halopeltis, dead spider, and thrips. And we have found that in laboratory condition, the maximum mortality of red spider mite was found in Metarhizium inuspai and followed by Pseudomonas fluorescens. And some other toxic effect on lupar caterpillar in tea and
Dr. Mohammad